Hello everyone, Clarky, welcome back to another video. Today we're back, and today we are ranking every single World at War Zombies map from worst to best. Now, like most ranking videos, you see them all the time in Zombies, but I've decided to take a different approach by making this a new series by ranking the games, ranking the maps, ranking DLCs, launch maps, all that stuff. But for each ranking video, I will be ranking on 3 different content creators from Zombies to help me rank these maps, and we all have our individual lists, but to list off who we have joining us for today's video, we have Mr. Call Me Webbie, Tim Hansen, and MCZombieSlayer. Say hello, gentlemen. How are you all?
Hey, how's it going?
Yo, what's good?
Hello, comrades.
So today I brought on these amazing people who still love World at War Zombies. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, can we get a rain check on that? We all still love World at War Zombies, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe occasionally. Yeah.
I fucking hate it, but
My appreciation of World of War has no bounds.
I'm glad. There you go. So it sounds like I've brought on the right people. Aside from MC, he said he fucking hated it, but you know what? That's okay. But what we're gonna do is we'll go in order from the Discord call from what I see here. Webbie will list off his least favorite map, then I'll list mine, then Tim, the MCZombieSlayer, and then we'll go back to Webbie all over again. So again, there's only 4 maps, so this video won't be too long, but it's World at War. Who gives a shit? It's the first ever Zombies game ever made. We appreciate it. But aside from that, let's hop right into it. Webbie, you can start us off with your least favorite World at War Zombies map of all time. Webbie's recording died here with his first ranking, so let it be noted he put Verrucht as his least favorite World at War Zombies map. How can you hate this map? It's a masterpiece. My least favorite World at War Zombies map of all time, personally, it's got to be Nocturne and Toten. You know, it's the map that started all, and as of recently, I've played Noct, and unironically, it's been fun, but my god, I hate how slow the first few rounds are, man. It really is super slow. It just makes me not want to play the map, but once you get like to round 5, that's when it starts to get good, you know, but the map itself doesn't have a lot in it, which, I get it, it's the first map, but still, you're playing the first entry of Zombies compared to this day and age where every other Zombies map in game has a lot more to do. So Noct, I appreciate, I still have fun on it, but if we're just solely based it off of World at War Zombies maps here, Noct's got to be last for me personally.
Yeah, I'm going to follow up that opinion because I agree with you. I don't like to call it the worst in the game because A, there's only 4 maps, and B, I don't really hate any of these maps. I like them all for what they bring. But yeah, Noct just has the least amount of like substance to it by default, so that's why I'd put it last. In both all 3 World of War maps besides Derice, there's that 24 cap, so I don't necessarily think one is harder than the other, but at the end of the day, if you're high riding on Noct, you're just using a flamethrower, and that's kind of like it. Whereas at least on Verrucht, you have the traps and you have like the vibes of Verrucht, I guess, which would be more of a reason to want to play. Yeah, like if I'm gonna have to choose between Noct and Verrucht, I would pick Verrucht purely because of like vibes, to be honest, and like there are perks and traps, and that's not like, you know, a crazy bar to get above with Noct, but yeah, Noct is just like a box. So love it though. I mean, I'm a basic bitch, so I like basic bitch maps, but Noct is like as basic as it gets. Besides maybe like Boss Depot. So I'd put Noct at number 4.
well, I'm coming at it from a high rounder's point of view. Derice is by far the worst.
Honestly, from a higher end perspective, I can agree with this.
First things first, World at War mechanics just shit anyway, right? They're just bad. Zombies cling to you. Just basic mechanics like zombies coming in and out of the barriers don't really work sometimes. Really weird. But on Derice, let's say you're standing in the Thompson room and you have that barrier closed up the stairs. If you just jump in the room, the zombies will spawn upstairs, even though you've got it locked up. And then let's say you're running the trap strat. The zombies can just get stuck on the mainframe, and then they'll just be there until they decide to despawn. And you'll get one really bad respawn come at you on like around 98, which is what happened to me. Grab onto you, and then you're dead. So yeah, that map just absolutely blows. I hate it.
I'm actually glad you're here, though, for that perspective, because that is, like, a lot of people do, obviously, just play for high rounds. It is the worst for high rounding, obviously, because of they remove the cap on the zombies, so. And plus, there's just so many other issues, like the WAF breaking, well, at least, you know, breaking Jug, and the zombies, in general, are just super sticky in World at War, and, like, yeah. I mean, for a high rounder, yeah, Derice is definitely the least.
So the next one was, if it wasn't going to be Verruct, it's going to be Nocturne Totem. So, I mean, same things you guys kind of mentioned. It's literally simple. It's the first ever map that was created, and it was a project that came to life. It wasn't really supposed to be, created in the first place, but by chance they let the developers run with it and put it at the very end of the campaign, and sure enough, they caught lightning in a bottle, and now here we are talking about Black Ops 7 zombies. So they must have done something right with this map specifically to then go forth with more DLC maps like Verruct, like Shinonuma, like Doris, and then going on with Kino and so on and so forth. But in the words of Nikolai Belinsky, I am a simple man. It doesn't take a whole lot for me to be just satisfied with what Noct has to offer. It's simple, it's basic. You have the box right there. You have the wall weapons. It is slow, even with co-op, but you have everything that you need right then and there.
Dude, don't forget about the scoped Kar 98K in the cabinet.
And that's what I'm saying, dude. I've been told.
Overpriced.
I've been told if you throw grenades at every single barrel and you blow them up, you actually get a ray gun in that cabinet. I still have yet to see that ray gun in there, but maybe one day. Maybe one day we will eventually see that. Maybe there's some hidden Easter egg that we can't see. But either way, it doesn't take a whole lot for me to be impressed with one map, even though it's not really impressive. I'm just saying there's not literally a whole lot that I need to have a good time on it. Just get 4 friends, go upstairs and just camp. When it came out, like I said, 2008, get your buddies and defend the house. That's literally the objective, and then it just kind of rolled from there, and it couldn't have gone any better.
Me personally, I do love this map. I do think this is an underrated map, because I see a lot of people crap on it as of recent. Well, maybe not as of recent, but as times went on from years ago to where we are now, a lot of people don't give this map enough credit. And honestly, it's Shinonuma. I see a lot of people hate on it, but it's a crap ton of fun, in my opinion, especially going for high rounds, especially when you see people like Krups being the high round world records. It looks like a lot of fun. And of course, it's where we first saw the Ultimus crew, and of course, the music Easter egg on that map is so goddamn good. It just isn't enough for me though, because me personally, I do love my main Easter eggs, and I like when a map has a lot to do, and all the World at War maps just don't have that. But I do give it a pass just because it is the first game to introduce Call of Duty Zombies. But aside from that, I'd rather just play the other 2 maps I haven't mentioned yet on my list over Shinonuma. But aside from that, it's a lot of fun. The Flogger as well, the zip line, just all around, Shinonuma is a very great, memorable experience, especially if World at War Zombies was your first ever Zombies game and you followed it from Nocturne Tone to the very end being Doris. So, Shinonuma, I love it, but the other 2 maps, I just love a lot more.
It would be Verruct. It would just be the slightly more educated brother version of Noct, where it's really not that different when you think about it. A lot of what makes those maps unique is a lot of those are similar, simple, suffocating, scary. But Verruct's just got slightly more, slightly more icing on the cake. So that's really all there is for me to say. Verruct is a good vibes, a horrorcore type of experience, but you won't really find me playing either one of these maps over the 2 I have above it though. So
yeah, it's gotta be Noct. It's just boring, really. That's all there is to it. You get the flamethrower, the ray gun, shoot a bit, and hoard up, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Spawns are slow. They don't really pick up either. You can wait a whole 30 seconds later on, and you might just about have all the zombies on the map.
Second favorite's gotta be Shinonuma, strictly because I love it solo. It is by far, in a way, the best map for high rounds. And even then, the high round strat is actually fun. The waffle works. The Flogger's fun. It's a very fun trap to use. And it's just it's very simple, and it's still only 24 a round, but it keeps you entertained enough to where it's not brain dead to the point where okay, I got a dog round, okay, I get a free max, okay, now I don't have to worry about conserving my waff, or I get insta kill rounds, okay, I know what rounds I get insta kill rounds, and so on and so forth. And just the vibe of the map as well too, and seeing the first time of being the characters as well too, the story first actually coming to life.
McCain.
Yeah, Peter McCain. Seeing the body, because was one of the few people that actually glitched Peter McCain's body to the point where he got down on the ground. If you touch Peter McCain's body, you die. And that was like, and I did that when I was in a lobby with all 4 of my friends, and we all like freaked the fuck out because it broke one of my buddy's games, and we tried recreating it again and again, and just we could never get it to go. Like it had to be like when you open the first door, not the staircase one, but like the door right where one of the box spies is. And if you get his body on that side, it glitches, and if you touch his body, you immediately die. And so that created some really fun and really core memory unlocked as well too.
Rumor has it is if you look out into the wilderness and you squint hard enough, you might just find Logan Paul back there. He might be walking around.
That's crazy. That is wild. It started the story between like the original 4, and it then immediately just unlocked the story and like made it much more just like, oh, grab 4 characters and just survive. Now we got a story. Okay, where does the story go from here? Is there another map where these 4 characters are in? And bam, you got a Nazi soldier, a Nazi German scientist, a crazy Russian drunk bastard, a very honorable Japanese samurai warrior, and then just the stereotypical badass American, hoorah Marine, that all 4 are just brought together to fight. Yeah, all 4 of them. Differences in ethnicities, differences in cultures, all fighting one common enemy and being zombies. I don't think it can get much better than that, but I think that's where zombies just keeps getting better.
Now, I'm very glad that someone ranked this map very low on their list, because I was scared I was going to get fucking yelled at. But for me personally, because I just love this other map more than the map I'm just about to say here, it's the Reese. Now, don't hate me, lads, okay? This is a hot take, and do not get me wrong, I love the Reese. I really do. I mean, it's the map that people always look back on and go, this is zombies. This is classic zombies right here. And they are right to an extent, but man, the Reese I get bored of more quicker than I do Verruct. I don't know why, and I personally like how Verruct is more challenging, but the Reese has got a great balance. Well, coming out from a higher end perspective, seeing it now, this might actually be wrong saying that, but I mean, they introduced the Pack-a-Punch, the story, like you mentioned, it was getting more interesting from Shinonuma to now Reese and the teleporters as well. It's just, it had a great layout, and just overall, there is really nothing to hate on Reese apart from I really just prefer Verruct more, in my opinion. I don't know why, I just like the vibe in Verruct more, but Reese, it still hits. It still hits, man. But fuck that Wonderwolf glitch with Jug. Fuck that shit. I don't like it. But aside from that, Reese, I love it, but it's not my favorite. Not my favorite World of War map.
Number 2 for me would be Shinonuma, but I think, because I don't think a lot of people in the community consensus is that this is a good map. I actually genuinely love this map. I think it's one of the most underrated maps ever. People don't like the mud. People don't like the dull like vibes. I just appreciate everything that it offered. I mean, it's, if you think about it, it's one of the most innovative maps ever. WAF, Flogger, Hounds, 4 characters like Webbie mentioned, and like this actual story igniting and beginning there. It is the biggest vibe shift of the World at War map selection. Like the rest of the other 3 are kind of just like grayish, you're in a building, you're, scary vibes. But Shinonuma is the first like outdoors map where it's more like scenic, I guess. The random perk thing with the 4 huts, I thought that was pretty cool. And if you're high rounding, you're going to pick this one, obviously. Shinonuma's number 1 for that because of the 24 cap plus the WAF plus the random like insta-kill rounds you'll get occasionally where I don't even remember how it works, but randomly, like as the rounds progress, like the zombies' health like reverses. It inverses back to like 0 or something, so you can just like insta-kill zombies for a couple rounds at a time. It's weird. But yeah, Shinonuma, I think, doesn't get the appreciation it deserves. That said, I still have it at number 2, but Shinonuma is a certified hood classic. Dude, I don't know what it is. I don't get the slander. I think it's genuinely because people are like, it's gross, there's mud, and it's like a icky map. I can't actually think of a gameplay reason to hate it.
It's Verruct for me, the second. Now, this might, for people who know the clip, Well, there's a couple clips. One of the worst experiences I've had is actually on Verrugt, but it is still a more interesting high round strat and stuff. So I'll get into that in a minute. But what happened to me is I had fully rebuilt this barrier, like completely. Zombie just jumps through. I don't know how. Like, I've never had it to where it's fully boarded. Like, I've had it where there's been maybe like 3 boards on it, and then they've jumped through. But every single board was on that barrier, and he just goes through. But he just enabled no clip apparently, and just came through. But yeah, pretty interesting with because it implemented the whole. If you hit yourself with a grenade, you will no longer get the trap stun from the trap, which is pretty nice. So that annoying stun. And just the trap strat in general, you have to make sure you time it right so that you're able to kill all the zombies coming through and then release the ones from the barrier and make sure you don't kill them too quickly, because if you kill them too quickly, the trap won't have recharged. And then you've got to do a very risky cutback, either by where I think it's the STG, at least on BO3, because that's the one I've been playing recently. Or you do it by the QR machine, but got to time it right. And then insta-kill rounds are just fun as well.
Well, it's no question, it's Reese. It's a timeless map for me, for a lot of reasons. Everyone wants to say it's nostalgia. We're looking at it from a rose-tinted glasses. There's obviously problems, like in World of War, the system itself, like the Wonderwolf jug glitch, that's terrible. But there's just so many things. I think just with the catwalk, you got the PPS Sage upgraded into the Reaper. You finally have a Pack-a-Punch like that actually upgrades your weapons. You take your teleporters, and then you finally have something to work for. And especially when you have like friends to play with, that's like ultimately where most of my core memories come from playing this map, and that's where I always revolve, or like how much fun I have on a specific map is how much I find fun playing the map solo, and also how much fun I have fun playing with friends, because that's where you build the likeness of the map and the memories that you create from playing those maps. And the story continued, and it only got way better. It had the radios scattered across the map, and it caused, people's interest to skyrocket into like wanting more zombies at that point, because then we get the Pack-a-Punch camo is also very underrated. It's like a shiny, it's like World of War. You never expect it from a World of War game, because like as soon as it went from World of War to BO1, it like completely just regressed of how like great it looked.
Oh yeah.
And it went from a shiny, like ceramic wrap, like chrome, like a chrome Pack-a-Punch camo that looks so sick. And I don't know, it's just it's a vibe in itself. Like, and even though I know a lot of people say like it's still like not great for high rounds, but I find that like the beauty of it as well too, because it's the first map to have no 24 round or 24 zombies per round, and it makes it so much harder, because you have the waft glitch, and it almost forces you to play perfectly if you want to like get a good run in. And so I find the beauty in that, where it's like you have to like prioritize, not getting hit, and strategize getting to the trap, make sure they spawn into the next room, and then jumping back through, and then and perfecting each and every trap placement that you place. I like that more specifically. It just creates more of a... I'm getting off track here, but I'm starting to like lose my words. But either way,
it makes it the difficulty separates it from the other maps, where you're basically making like the inverse argument of MC. Like it's basically like more impressive if you were to get to a higher round on that map, despite all of the problems it has.
Exactly. And even then, I was always the guy that we have friends that just go up and just camp on the catwalk and just stay on Xbox Live and just talk all night, get to round 35 and call it a night. And I think that's just the main perspective of all zombies players, really. Most zombie players don't even get past round 20 at best, and so just getting to round 35 just creates a lot of like great memories, because then like once like you get to that point, it's just like it's utter chaos. You're running around going to the teleport trying to spawn a max ammo, and then immediately just get more dogs, more chaos. There's more chaos and a lot more fun in it as the rounds progress, and it created a lot of great core memories for me.
See, that was my problem. I didn't have friends.
Okay. That's wild.
Now, my number one, it's like how you described the Reese, but for me, it's for Verruct. Like, I love the vibe of Verruct, I love the location, I love the challenge of Verruct, and it's the one World of War map for me personally where I can keep going back to it and playing it and just never get bored of it whatsoever. Like, if I'm ever going back to World at War, aside from like maybe doing the Nitro 100 because that's what I've mainly been doing, the map I'm going to play is Verruct. Like, it's the one map where if it got like Shinonuma Reborn treatment from Vanguard, for any Vanguard likers out there, or just remade in a new way to the point where it has like a main quest and a cool boss fight, I think that would have been cool. And my god, we've seen like Nacht 6 times and Shinonuma 5 times, where compared to Verruct we've only seen it like what, 4 times, but those are remasters, whereas Nacht and Shinonuma have both remasters and remakes, and I would love to see possible Verruct remake personally, just with a cool quest and just the vibe of Verruct as well, like the dentist chair, like that shit was creepy, and the song Easter egg as well isn't even bad on that map either. I prefer Shinonuma's a lot more, but Verruct, it's just up there, man. Love it. Had no wonder weapon, that's like really my only problem with it, but aside from like the ray gun, like, but if we're talking like other wonder weapons outside of the ray gun, that was an issue.
Verruct has some of the most like passionate like cult lovers of that map. Like, you won't find many people who love Verruct, but the few people that love Verruct are like obsessed with Verruct, dude. Like, and I can totally understand it though. I can see it.
That is why Verruct is my personal favorite World of War Zombies map.
So my number 1 is gotta be D Machine from Cold War. No, I'm kidding. I was gonna make a Vanguard joke until you said it. I'm like, shit. No, it's Therese just by default. A lot of what Webbie touched on. I think for starters, the versatility of strategy. Whereas the previous 3 maps, it felt like there was one particular thing you could do to survive, and that was it. I think on Therese, you could camp, especially with a group of friends. That's like the goated nostalgia strategy right there. But then there's also, you can just train, and you can move around a lot. You can use traps in the circle around the map. You could stay still if you wanted. You can, I mean, the WAF's broken in World of War in particular, but there's just a lot of different ways you can tackle the map. It's very well designed. It's pretty much like you had mentioned, the map I think of when I hear COD Zombies. It's like that or Kino, but it's like kind of the epicenter of the mode. It's what I envision when I hear people talk about it. I also just really appreciate the story building. I mean, this is kind of where it all, I know Shinonuma had the crew debut there, but this is really where all of the world building started and happened, was in that factory where they designed all this crazy shit. So I definitely appreciate Therese pretty much in every regard. I just wish that there weren't some of the issues that there were, because then like high rounding would be more pleasurable, but just a phenomenal experience.
Yeah, Shinonuma, it's got the least amount of issues. That's it. It's you don't feel like you get stuck all that much on Shino, at least from my experience. You can kind of create space for yourself as well to not get slapped. 24 Zombies makes it very easy, but at the same time it makes it the most pleasurable map to play on the game. For high rounding, it's definitely the most enjoyable, I'd say. Anyways,
guys, thank you all so much for watching. This was a World at War Zombies ranking video from worst to best. Gentlemen, I appreciate you all for coming out today. Any last words for today's ranking video?
I'm on Therese.
Thanks. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Tim. Thanks. That makes it all the worthwhile for this video.
I'm on Therese. I'm on Therese. Everybody look at me, cause I'm pissing on a zombie.
But again, check out Webbie, check out Tim, MCZombieSlayer, all those socials will be linked in the description below. But guys, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all within the next video or live stream. And goodbye.